Hey, this is Chris with Rekkid Talk. Got another episode of You Need That Rekkid. So, the record we're going to focus on in this episode is going to be the self titled album by the Kansas City band, the Rainmakers. So, if you don't know about the Rainmakers, this album was released in 1986. It's kind of a roots rock, Midwest rock sort of sound. If you like, say, John Cougar Mellencamp, that sort of thing, you would probably be a fan of the Rainmakers. Um, they're the guys on the back cover. Sort of the tall guy with the hat and the big hair is Bob Walkenhorst, who was the lead singer, the main songwriter, the leader of the band. It's on Mercury Records. And so Walkenhorst, his songwriting was very clever. There's a lot of cleverness in the lyrics. Rockin' at the T-Tass. Downstream, he's talking about hanging out with Mark Twain. Let My People Go Go, which is on the hype sticker, which is still there, was kind of the single off of this. Big Fat Blonde's kind of a bit of a sleazy song. Government Cheese, Drinking on the Job. There's a lot of really clever stuff on here. Produced by Terry Manning. And if I remember right, I think Terry Manning did a lot of work with sort of kind of these straightforward rock kinds of people. I had a list somewhere. I'm pulling it up right now of who he had produced along with the Rainmakers. I should have had this ready. George Thorogood and the Destroyers, Widespread Panic, Fabulous Thunderbirds, Jason and the Scorchers. That's the kind of stuff he was tending to work with. He did this album and then the Rainmakers' second album as well. And so, if you're looking for something that's a little bit like John Mellencamp, with guy's a little bit more clever, a bit more of a smartass with his lyrics, I think you'd go right with the Rainmakers. Now, one of the things I kind of realized when I was putting this together was I never really heard the rest of their catalog. I looked them up. They've had a total of 8 studio albums. There were 5 put out between 86 and 94, and then 3 in more recent years getting back together as a band. Unfortunately, one of the Steve Phillips, who was a guitar player, I'll be honest, I don't know which one of the guys is Steve Phillips, but he passed away due to COVID last year. And I listened to some tracks off the second album online, which was called Tornado, and I have to say I didn't like it as much. You still had sort of the same sort of clever lyric writing, but it sounded really 80s. It sounded like, I don't know if it was the band or if it was their producer or if it was their record label. Somebody, it seems like, told them that they should sound more like ZZ Top. So there's a lot of that Eliminator Afterburner era synths and the gated drums and all that that's not really on this album, and I don't think it made that particular album better. And I don't think I'll be seeking that one out. I haven't heard any of the rest of their catalog. I suspect that there's probably some hidden gems in there. The guy seems like too talented of a songwriter to not have some other good things. But I would guess if you were going to only own one Rainmakers record, their debut, the self-titled, should be it.